your law after 120 minutes. I'm like, and it took about maybe 15, 20 minutes to get through penalties because I think Hume ended up winning one. I think like 8-6 or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, they can score during penalty shootouts, but he didn't want to score for the first 120 minutes of the game. Like bloody hell! Come on, guys.
Yeah, that's the other time when you want chairs. If it's 120 minutes of just standing there.
Yeah.
You're tired after a while.
Good evening and welcome to round 6 of the Australia Cup Victorian fixture here between the Brimbank Stallions and Geelong. And what a game it's going to be tonight down here at City Vista Pavilion, home of the Sunshine George Cross. And what a fantastic facility it is. Michael Thompson, Ryan Solo here. And feel free to keep me company for at least the next couple of hours, and hopefully I can entertain you. The game is very entertaining as well. For those who are not too familiar with how these two sides got to this point, Brimbank are probably the biggest winners thus far, with a massive upset in the last round of the Australia Cup when they beat Altona Magic, who are in the top tier flight of football here in this state of Victoria. They won 2-0. For Geelong, it took them a bit to get to it. Hampton East Brighton, they beat them 2-1 in the end. They were 2-0 up, and then a late goal by Hampton East. They almost got the equaliser in that one, but Geelong were able to hold on to victory in that game. And the other results for both Brimbank and Geelong. Geelong also defeated Brunswick Juventus in round 4, 5-0, before taking on Hampton East Brighton, as I said, winning that one 2-1. And before they got to round 5, Brimbank, they beat Heatherton United 5-0, Gippsland United 3-0 in rounds 3 and 4. And of course, as I said, defeated Altona 2-0 in round number 5. As both sides come out here and the crowd's starting to make their way. There's still a bit of training on some of the aforementioned pitches across the facilities here this evening. And we're in probably the best spot too with the benches from where we are too. So it's going to be good to hopefully get a bit of a real feel to how the coaches are feeling on both sides, with Andrew Marv coaching Brimbank and Ted Ladamansky coaching Geelong tonight. And both sides exchanging pleasantries before we get this one underway. My tip for this one, I do like Geelong. I've always been a big fan of Geelong, but I think Brimbank, just on the basis of the teams they've beaten, especially being Altona 2-0, which is an impressive feat in itself. I'd love to see a cup set here tonight here at Sunshine George Reserve, and we'll find out shortly if it does come to fruition. Brimbank in their traditional Juventus-style zebra, the black and white, and Geelong wearing their trademark yellow strip they generally wear away. So almost underway here to start things off. What should be a big game. This is one of, I believe, 6 games on tonight. So a lot of Australia Cup, a lot of midweek cup fixtures, and as I mentioned last night, calling Kingston City and Lane Warren. We are so blessed and so spoiled when it comes to cup football here. We get to enjoy it. Be able to tell you the officials too very, very shortly. But it should be a fantastic contest between both sides, and looking forward to bringing this to you here on NPL TV. Also excited to bring it to you through the Football Victoria Facebook channel, through YouTube. So feel free to drop a comment over the course of the evening. Keep me company. I'll endeavour to read out your comments, your questions. My hands are cold, first and foremost, so it is a very brisk night here down at Georgie's. And it will be Brimbank to start things off here. And it will be the captain, Kim Harris, to kick things off. Alongside him is Alex Schiavo, 2 men who've got massive credentials when it comes to playing in the top flights of football in this state. Both playing for Melbourne Knights and Heidelberg previously. So both sides are ready to go. Brimbank, still located in State League Northwest, and Geelong are in the NPL 3 competition. As kickoff here begins through Harris, and I'll start, and I'll hand it off to Nana Yor. Yor to Thomas Chinaba. Try to find Ethan Flint, and that ball's been turned over. So a bit of scrappy start to this one here at Georgie's. Brimbank with the early attack, and ball goes over the touch. So it'll be a throw-in going the way of Geelong. Stojanovski is probably going to be the big X-factor player out there tonight for Geelong. He's the leading scorer last year for Geelong. He's not afraid to score between the big sticks. And for Brimbank, as I mentioned, being Altona in round number 5. I'll hold that thought quickly. Kim Harris with an early chance here. That ball's going to go over the byline, trying to keep it over. And I think the last person to touch that one there was Adam Budeland there for Geelong. Comes over from Sweden, playing Ängelholms. There will be an early corner going the way of Brimbank. It'll be Alex Schiavo. As we know, he's played a lot of top-tier flight football in Victoria over the journey, famously with Heidelberg. His corner kick is no good, but it stays with Brimbank. Ball into the right-hand channel here for Thomas Chinama. Chinama's going to get taken potentially down. He's committed the foul, so it'll be with Geelong, and Geelong to try and go in defence. And got a zone set up to Brimbank at the moment, so Geelong onto this on this left wing, I should say. Long ball's no good, goes over for touch, is going to stay with Geelong. As I mentioned, Geelong previously beat Hampton East Brighton around 5-2-1. They were leading 2-0 up until the 90th minute, where Hampton East Brighton scored, almost made it 2-2. They had one or two more good opportunities from memory. And then, of course, Brimbank, the giant killer so far in the Australia Cup in season 2023, beat Altona Magic in round number 5 and are trying to look to hopefully take another scalp tonight. And it'll be good to see Northwest side head into the next round of fixtures for the Australia Cup as we're venturing closer and closer to the round of 32. And that's always exciting when a lot of these NPL clubs from across Australia get the opportunity to play alongside some of the A-League teams that will be partaking in the competition as always. And we've seen Cup success stories, the likes of Bentley Greens and Hume City, to name a few, who've done so well from a Victorian standpoint. I mean, City United last year, another big story. Ended up losing to MacArthur and just came close to causing the upset of all upsets in Australia Cup history in its short tenure in this country. So you don't know who's going to be the diamond in the rough this year, whether it's here in Victoria or New South Wales, South Australia, Queensland, Western Australia. There's always going to be a diamond in the rough when it comes to a team that exceeds a lot of expectations and go further than where they should be. On this right-hand channel, cross in here from Schiavo. Header was no good in the end there from Brimbank. And he'll be out for a goal kick, goes over the left byline. And we're in trouble. Nicholas Scott Nicker here for Geelong. So still 0-0 in the early going to this one. As the crowd slowly starts to fill here at Georgie's. As I said, there'll be a lot of kids and a lot of parents heading this way after their training has commenced. Has finished up, I should say. Here's Masudi here for Geelong. Had 2-on-1 to deal with. Sodic there for Brimbank. It's going to stay with Brimbank. Ted Lanomansky giving orders. And this is the beauty about being where we are this evening. None of your with a long throw in here for Brimbank. Trying to give it to his captain in Kim Harris, and a bit too much there in the end. So it'll be a goal kick going the way of Geelong. Geelong might turn this ball over. They're going to have to try and get out of the fence here. They do. Devers. Long ball's not bad. This is the first real chance here for Geelong on the attack. Maybe try and cross inside the box here, but too much there in the end. And that ball goes out. So deflected off. The last offender there for Brimbank, and it's going to be Yoshimura here for Geelong, formerly of Olympic FC up in Queensland. Just a lot nicer than here in Victoria this time of year. So Yoshimura with the corner kick here for Geelong. Geelong's first real opportunity at it. Header wasn't too bad there. Can they keep possession? They might not be able to. They will. Here for Grimsditch. His ball gets blocked by the wall Brimbank defenders. And Brimbank go away on the run here. Running down the flanks. Bit too much on that there for Thomas Chinama. And Thomas Chinama's been animated to his teammates. Geelong quickly away here through Lana Masudi. He's had a couple of good looks at it already. Here's Masudi now, one-on-one with the keeper here for Geelong. He gets blocked off beautifully in the end, but Geelong keep possession. Geelong with Bencic. His ball gets blocked off. And good touches here by Geelong, just keeping possession in their front third of the ground. Grimsditch is going to pass back. And they're going to come to this near side. Budalin. Pass not bad. A bit too much there in the end for Connor Bencic, and ball goes to Chris May. As we see a whistle called by the official. We'll give you the officials very, very shortly. As I said, feel free to drop comments, questions, queries over the course of the evening. Drop me your predictions too. I'll read a couple of those out over the course of the evening. So, our officials tonight. So, William Quartermain's our referee. Courtney Van Diesen is our first assistant referee. Jock Quartermain, our second official. Craig Jenkins, our referee coach. And Alexander Nikolowski is our fourth official, who'll be giving us the stoppage time minutes and letting us know how long is left. So, that is our officiating team for the evening. As ball is with Geelong. Throw-in is good. Might stay with Geelong here through Stojanovski. It does. Masahiro Masuda did well. A key possession to Geelong, and they're going to make Brimbank really work hard to try and turn that ball over, and in saying that, they almost turned that ball over completely. Geelong here through Grimsditch, through midfield. On the left-hand channel now for Yoshimura. Back to Grimsditch. Pass is good. Try to go inside there for Stojanovski, who's, again, going to be lethal tonight for Geelong. He was their leading goal scorer during their campaign last season. He's deadly normally. Possession stays with Brimbank. They've turned that ball over now to Geelong, and it's just a real battle here for possession. Could be a chance here now for Chinama. He tried really hard with that cross inside the box. It was just a sea of yellow, so Geelong able to get out of dodge as quickly as possible. Lot ball is not bad here for Brimbank. Rosario was the one who had that last touch, headed by Jack Marth. And ball goes out again for touch. It's going to be with Geelong. So still 0-0. And Geelong are away. That ball is headed to the back third here for Geelong, and Geelong kicks that ball wide. So, Brimbank kicked that ball wide, my apologies. Just stays in Geelong's back third, and Geelong regain possession. Here with Masuda. Chance here for Masudi. It's been blocked off beautifully in by Jack Marth. But it will stay with Geelong. It's still 0-0 here. The early going to this one. And Geelong turn that ball over, so we Brimbank ball. Huge thank you to Michael Clancy for dropping his predictions in the comments below. He believes that Geelong going to win this one 2-0. It's not a bad shout. Get back to that shortly. Chance here in the early goings there through Lionel Masudi, and that ball goes over the crossbar. And you would say Geelong should get this opportunity. However, it's a good opportunity for Brimbank to take out another NPL-style club, which would be good to see from a state league level. But again, Michael, wouldn't be surprised if Geelong do get the win here and go through to round 7 of the Australia Cup on the Victorian League. Go through to that next stage. So Geelong lobs that. Grimsditch. Oh, that was a bit tough there on the header there through Oscar Brooks, and the tandem of Alex Chiavo and Kim Harris were circling the Geelong defence like sharks. But Geelong able to keep it in their possession. He's brutal in here for Geelong. To Masudi. Balls into the breadbasket of Devers. Devers did well. Dodged one opposition defender from Brimbank, but Brimbank able to get it out again. They did so beautifully. And away they go to Brimbank. They head back. Thomas Janama. Pass is good. Finds Storage. Brimbank with possession. Storage gets it back. Got that from Adichie. And too much touch there. Sees that ball go for a throw in for Geelong. We'll also keep you across the rest of the Australia Cup games happening tonight here in Victoria. As I said, it's up to 6 games tonight. So you're spoiled for choice, and hopefully you're warm wherever you are. I'm not, from where I'm sitting. That's the beauty of Victorian weather at the moment, where it does drop a bit and it gets a bit more brisker the nights. So we head into winter. We're a few weeks away from officially heading into the winter months, but so I feel like the winter came maybe 2 or 3 weeks early. Storage with a long ball. Foul's been called, so it will be a yellow card going away Geelong. First official booking of this game this evening, I should say. Now it's gone. Stojanovski has been booked for that foul. Ted Ladamaski, the coach of Geelong, not happy. He's asking the fourth official, what was that for? He knows how important this game is this evening for Geelong. As I said, they just got through Hampton East Brighton in round 5 of the Australia Cup tie. Could be a chance here for Geelong. Bit too much there in the end for Devers, but Devers was offside. And it will be a Brimbank ball. As I said, over the course of the evening, feel free to drop a comment, drop a question. I'll read them out over the course of the evening. As Clifton Hill are currently 2-0 up against South Springvale in the other game. Melbourne Knights are 1-0 up against Bentley. And it's 0-0 between Oakley and Dandenong City. So as I said, I'll keep you updated over the course of the evening for the other games that happen across your Tuesday evening. A lot of cup games, which is good to see. As Geelong keep possession in their back third. But again, Brimbank really pressing hard. Grimstitch. Pass not bad. And Devers hits the deck and Geelong get a free kick. Here's Taira Yoshimura. A bit too much there for Masahiro Masuda. Masuda originally from Japan. And as I said, Yoshimura previously plied his trade with Olympic FC up in Queensland, up in the NPL competition up there. Great signing so far this season to Geelong. Brimbank, though, with numbers behind the ball. Long ball was no good for Kim Harris. That ball might stay with Brimbank, it does. Headers up here for Yoshimura. Into a better space, a bit too much there in the end for Lana Masudi and the ball. So, a few observations in the early sort of 15 minutes or so of this first half here between Brimbank and Geelong. Geelong starting to press a little bit, just haven't been able to find plays in the space. Brimbank had a couple of really good looks in the first 2-3 minutes of this game, but they've been on the back foot the last 2 minutes of this game so far, but they're pressing hard with putting 4, 5, at times 6 men behind the ball, and it's just been no match for Geelong to try and get through the wall of Stallions right now. So it's really a possession battle between both sides, and it'll be interesting to see how this game continues to eventuate over the course of the evening. Harris, header's good, only into the bread basket here for Geelong. Masudi. Long ball kick there in the end was Jack Marth. And I'll stay with Geelong. Stojanovski. Budalin. So Geelong got to try and get into a bit of space. That's probably a little bit better there for Masudi. It's that foot race though. Marth bumps off Masudi. Wow. And that was just physical from one play to the other line of Masudi. It's taking a little bit of time to get himself back up, but got cleaned up as the ball heads over the byline, and goal kick here for Brimbank. Still 0-0 here. Thomas Janama. On this right-hand channel from where we are, broadcast side. Kim Harris offside. Good awareness there by our second assistant referee tonight. Just Kim Harris, a little bit overzealous. But Courtney Van Diesen did really well there, reading it well. just for Kim Harris. You knew that he was ready to go on a bit of a run, but as I said, probably got maybe a little bit overzealous and took a few extra steps off his line before the last defender decided to take off with him. As the ball stays with Chris May here for Brimbank. Chris May, previously on Brighton Hove and Albion's list over in England. He's also been with the Melbourne Knights. He's been with Richmond. He's been with a few clubs in the NPL here in Victoria. But again, comes from a team that has probably exceeded expectations from a Premier League standpoint this season in Brighton. Good experience to have on your side. Marv to Nana Yor here on the right-hand channel. Blocked off there by Masudi and will stay with Brimbank. Nana Yor here for Brimbank, formerly of St Albans. I know Nana Yor very, very well from his younger days a long time ago doing media work for St Albans, and I've seen him blossom into a fantastic football player over the journey. So we're throwing here for Geelong. Stop there by Masudi. Geelong going to try and keep possession. Grimstitch. Budalin. Under a little bit of duress now, Geelong, their defence. They might lose it. They don't. They keep possession. But again, they're under a little bit of duress there. And Yoshimura fell asleep at the wheel. Was able to get out of dodge. And Marf has just been here, there, and everywhere in the first 20 minutes of this game for Brimbank. And Marf really just showing his aggression here for Masuda. Masudi. Free kick Geelong. So Geelong can set up. They're going to go quickly here. Grimstitch tried really hard with the quick kick from about 25, 30 yards out, and Chris May had no issues mopping up. It's possession here with Brimbank, and ball again goes out for touch, but stay with Brimbank. And Stallions who would love to cause another cup set here tonight. They've already done it once. They'd love to do it again here tonight at the expense of Geelong. Here's Adam Budalin for Geelong. Back to Scott Nicker for Geelong. And here's Budalin again. Short pass is good for Grimstitch. Might be a chance here for Geelong on the run. Chance here for Geelong to maybe set themselves up for their first goal. Can they get it through Masudi? They can't. And on the last line of defence was Nana Yor. And Brimbank stopped what was supposed to be potentially Geelong's first goal and first chance at breaking the deadlock here at Sunshine George Reserve, and they haven't been able to do that. But Geelong regain possession here through Masuda to Grimstitch, the left-hand channel. And again, Geelong cough up a ball that they shouldn't have. And it's just a lot of frustrations now with Masuda and even Yoshimura. Geelong, though, might get a chance here to get their first goal. They do! They put it in! And Geelong were on the board. Brimbank believe that shouldn't be a foul. But Geelong on the run. Easy as you like it. And a great goal there from Connor Bencic. Breaks the deadlock. And Geelong go 1-0 up here against Brimbank. Again, Brimbank disputing that decision. So Brimbank now trail 1-0 to Geelong. So Geelong 1, Brimbank 0. A great look at that there by Connor Bencic. Easy as you like. One-on-one with the keeper, and fortunately for Chris May, from a Brimbank's point of view, it just wasn't enough there in the end. So here is Masuda. To Grimstitch. They try very hard not to turn that ball over again, Geelong, but Geelong might have all the momentum going their way at the moment. Grimstitch. I'll hand it back over to Boodalin. And Grimstitch will get it back. Grimstitch, good lob in. He's trying to find the header here of Yoshimura. And Yoshimura, the Japanese international, is offside. So Brimbank with the quick free kick from the offside. Chavo, who's been well held the last few minutes. Again, Brimbank just trying to cause Geelong to make another mistake and get a chance again. Brimbank had probably a good look in the early going to the first half and weren't able to convert and pay dividends in the end for Geelong because they've been able to do that. It's Spiteri, the captain. Who's been a great lead over the course of the season so far for Geelong in the NPL 3. Boodalin. Masudi. He's got none of yaw on his tail. Hands it back over to Boodalin. They get out of dodge to Masuda. Lob here from Masuda. Finds Rosario. Here's Chavo. He's trying to find space here for Thomas Chinama. And that ball goes out, but it's going to stay with Brimbank. So Brimbank can have what should hopefully be another good look here for them. It'll be none of yaw for Brimbank to throw this ball in. So find Storage. It's going to stay with Brimbank, so none of yaw. Again, we'll throw this ball in. Harris headers in for Chavo. Chavo's got a good chance here for Brimbank. Ball gets blocked. And it's a corner. So Alex Chavo. Corner kick here for Alex Chavo. Inwards. Chance here now. Oh, almost. Thomas Chinama almost broke the deadlock. Had a really good look at that one. Fortunately, goes over the left side of the post. Over the byline. A really good look there from Thomas Chinama from Brimbank. Not able to break the deadlock. So Geelong... not able to equal, I should say. Geelong still lead 1-0. So we're halfway through his first half. It was a goal courtesy of Connor Bencic for Geelong. It's Geelong again might get a free kick, and they do. Grimstitch was thinking about going quickly with it, and Josh Viteri said, "No, I've got this, mate." So Geelong set up. Viteri with a short pass. Long ball might be good here. It's a bit too much there in the end again for Bencic, who was in the right spot. It's just too much real estate in that kick. And Brimbank able to mop up. Yamamoto. Header. So Geelong regain possession here. Bencic. He gets fouled. And that was the yellow card there, I believe, for Ethan Flint as they try to go quickly with it. Tried to go quickly with it, did Geelong, and William Quartermain says no. So it will be a set-piece free kick here. It'll be Yoshimura for Geelong to take this free kick. Yoshimura lobs it in long. Header might be a chance here for Geelong. They get it out of dodge though through Kim Harris, and it'll be a free kick here for Brimbank. So Yoshimura's free kick was no good in the end there for Geelong. And May just stabs that ball long through midfield. Harris Chiavo. So we're getting Thomas Chinama. Thomas Chinama. Dangerous on this right-hand side of Georgie's reserve. Header there from Harris. Trying to find a Stallion, and fortunately found a sea of yellow. Rosario was taken out of there by Devers. Brimbank, though, regained possession through Adichie. Ball might be a bit too much there. Can Thomas Chinama keep it in? He can. Brilliant there from Thomas Chinama. He did really well there. Ball lobbed in. And that would have been a good goal if it hit the head of Soda Adichie there for Brimbank. Thomas Chinama has just been phenomenal so far tonight on this right-hand side for Brimbank. Again, for those on Football Victoria Facebook page, feel free to drop a comment over the course of the evening. I'll read them out over the course of the night. Keep me company for the next hour and a bit. So we tick into the 34th minute of this first half. Geelong still leading this one 1-0 through Connor Bencic. There's none of your. Throws that ball back in. Long ball might be good for Harris. It's not. Bumped out of there. It'll be a free kick going the way of Geelong through Masuda. And Thomas Chinama. Just getting a bit of a warning from the officials. Lionel Masudi. Just feeling a little bit of discomfort on the left-hand side of where we are. And requires just a quick medical timeout just to quickly check up. So while we've got a break in play, we'll again go around the grounds over the course of the evening, knowing that there's a plethora of great games over the course of tonight. So St. Albans are 1-0 up against North Geelong in what I would love to be that game, actually. That would be a big game to be there. It is currently 0-0 between Yarraville and North Sunshine. We're 35 minutes into our game here. Clifton Hill still 2-0 up against South Springvale. Clifton Hill, which is the team I called back in 2021. They end up losing a Monbulk. And actually, this corresponding fixture of the Australia Cup back in 2021. Long ball here for Geelong. Not enough there in the end, and Brimbank able to get out of dodge. So ball with Adachi. Pass is good with Alex Schiavo. Schiavo long range. It's not going to trouble the keeper at all. It will be a goal kick for Geelong. So Nicholas Skotnica for Geelong. He's a former North Geelong junior. He's a Geelong born and bred boy. Masudi did really well there. Tried to find Devers, and Devers was offside. I think Geelong might be making a sub shortly, potentially. As Brendan Tchaikovsky might be coming on very shortly. Just Lionel Masudi still in a little bit of discomfort. We'll get back to that shortly. Thomas Chinama. Chance here. Probably should have done a bit better there, Thomas Chinama. Kim Harris had his hands on his head, as the captain does. That's Geelong. Oh, wait, so we're about to see a substitution, first substitution of this game tonight, and it will be from a Geelong perspective. Tchaikovsky will come on shortly for Lionel Masudi. Schiavo. Hands it back to Geelong, and Geelong will reset. Ball out for touch. As the fourth official is trying to get the referee's attention to make the substitution shortly. Flint is down, and free kick going away Brimbank, so the first substitution of this cup game, it will be Brendan Tchaikovsky coming on for Lionel Masudi. And again, Lionel hasn't really looked well the last sort of 5 or so minutes, so probably smart decision here by Geelong and Ted Ladamaski. Just bringing on a fresh pair of legs. So first substitution goes the way of Geelong as Stoich hands it to Adachi. He lobs that ball in for Harris. Chance here now for Schiavo. And Alex Schiavo, he's done that for a very long time. As I said, he knows where the sticks are. He can put it in the back of the net if he needs to. But that'll stop beautifully in the end by Geelong. Chance here for Brimbank. And that ball, quick corner was no good. And It's a goal kick, goes over the crossbar. So we're ticking to the final few minutes of this first half. Geelong through Connor Bencic with the only goal in this cup game thus far. And a bit of a fun fact too, this is the first time the Brimbank have conceded in the Australia Cup for their 2023 campaign. Their other 3 games to get to this game all finished with clean sheets. So, and it's a late challenge there from Thomas Chinama. Very late challenge. And he's warned to the yellow cards. Studs up, pretty reckless. Probably the right decision in the end by the official. So Thomas Chinama goes into the book. As again, we have another halt in play. Again, round 6 of this Australia Cup tie down here at City Vista Pavilion. Home of last season's NPL Victoria Grand Final and also home of Western United's women's training before they move into their new base, and also home of Sunshine George Cross, who are enjoying being part of the NPL 3 for the first time in a while this season after coming up from State League in the promotion relegation battle. And it's only a conversation last night during the Kingston City Langwarrin game of, for those teams who, so for example, your Preston Lions, who are trying really hard to get into the National Second Division, and I wouldn't mind people potentially dropping their thoughts on this one in the comments below here on Facebook or YouTube, but is it worth it for Preston Lions to get into National Second Division? I know they want to get into National Second Division, but do you think it's worth it for the Preston Lions to potentially get promoted into the NPL 1 if they go into National Second Division? Because we know that it's going to be looking a lot different next season with the National Second Division coming into full swing. So, just food for thought that I thought about last night, and I wouldn't mind getting everyone's thoughts. So feel free to drop your thoughts on that, about whether it's worth it for those teams who are doing so well. Is it worth it for them to try and get promoted, knowing that they want to try and get into the National Second Division competition and be part of the Victorian representative? And Brimbank are being yellow carded, so they're being warned for a bit of obscure language. Here's Harris on that right-hand channel here for Brimbank. Might be a chance here for them to go and try and score. They can't. Stojanowski did really well. Took care of his respective 7 in Adashi. And that was a bit too much there in the end for Devers. And Brimbank, through Nana Yor, turns that ball over into the hands of Jai Spiteri. As about to see potentially, I'm going to say how many minutes we're going to have of stoppage time in this first half as we come to its conclusion before half-time. Remember, Geelong with a 1-0 lead. It's either 2 or 3 minutes from where I can see it. I can't see it at the moment, but I'm going to say it's maybe 2 minutes of stoppage time we're probably going to get in this one, because we're coming so close to the end. So, yep, it was exactly 2 minutes of stoppage time left before the end of the first half. Geelong with that 1-0 advantage, as Alex Chiavo and Nana Yor saying hello to Masahiro Masuda a little bit closer than usual. Adam Budalin to Jais Pateri. It will be Geelong, who had possession. Long ball here through Jack Marth. Stays with Harris. So Brimbank, chance here. Long ball's no good. Inside the box. And away they go again through Brennan Trakowski, I should say. And none of your saying it was off Jesse Devers last, and Courtney Van Dies disagrees and says, no, it came off a Brimbank player. So it'll be a throw into Geelong, and Geelong with potentially one last crack before half time. And as I say that, Yoshimua's kick goes long. Was going to go over the byline, and Chris Murray says, no, let's try and keep a bit of momentum here before half time. I'm going to keep that ball in. Long ball here for Marth. To the direction of Nanayor. And lost out to Masahiro Masuda. And that is half-time here from City Vista Viewing Park, home of the Sunshine George Cross. And at half-time, it's been a real possession battle, a real grit battle here tonight. But through Connor Benchich, breaking the deadlock. It's a 1-0 advantage for Geelong at halftime. So we'll take you around the grounds and tell you that Melbourne Knights are 1-0 up against Bentley. Clifton Hill 2-0 up against South Springvale. Oakley Cannons 1-0 up against Dandy City. And the North Geelong St Albans game, it is 1-0. Going the way of St Albans. So we'll take a short break here from George Cross. We'll be back with the second half here. Thanks again for watching us here on whether it's the Facebook or YouTube channel here for Football Victoria, or you're streaming us live on the NPL TV app. Huge thank you. We'll take a short break. We'll be back with the second half on the other side of this.
drink as well?
Oh, water, yeah.
Oh, it's just water. All right.
Yeah. I've got a kombucha in there too, but I'm probably going to have that on the drive home.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to get a hot chocolate on the drive home too.
Nice, yeah. You gotta get a hot coffee or something like this.
Welcome back to round 6 of the Australia Cup here between Brimbank and Geelong, live from City Vista Pavilion. Michael Thompson with you in comms, and at the half it's Geelong with the 1-0 lead courtesy of Connor Benchich, who broke the deadlock 20 minutes into the game, and Brimbank were teetering on a few missed opportunities. Alex Charbot had a good opportunity, good look at it. Noah Thomas-Shinama had a really good look at it too, and Kim Harris, the captain. So they've had a couple of decent looks. So Adachi had a good look at it too, but it's just at the moment not been able to equalise in this game. Second half about to commence shortly, and we'll keep you company over the course of this second half, and if we do go further. And as I said, Ryan Solo and comms tonight, so feel free to drop some comments, drop some questions, queries, anything you want to talk about. Feel free to do that over the next 45 minutes or so as kickoff is about to recommence here. And it will be Connor Benchich to start things here for Geelong. So we are underway here, second half. Geelong lead 1-0. Bit of a little fun fact I mentioned before halftime too, that in the previous 3 games that Brimbank have played to get to round 6 of the Australia Cup Victoria fixture, they have not conceded any goals. They won 5-0, 3-0 and 2-0 respectively. This is the first time that they have conceded in this campaign. So it's a little fun fact there for everyone out there. Is we see Rosario for Brimbank. Passes here for Soto Adachi. And they're going to hand it back off to Nana Yor. And it's with Chris May. So here's Adachi for... Tries to curl that in, couldn't do so in the end, and away go Geelong. Here for Benchich. Here's the goal scorer. Good foul there by Stoich. Might be chanted now for Adachi, and he's offside. So first good look for Brimbank in the early going to this one, and it's unfortunate they couldn't get onside and offside straight away. So lob ball here from Oscar Brooks. Inside the box here for Geelong. It's no good in the end. But Geelong will regain possession through Devers. Here's Devers. Got through well. Can Geelong keep possession? Play goes down and Geelong get another opportunity. Almost on the edge of the 18-yard box. About 22, 23 yards away. Actually, maybe even 20 yards away. The player is down here for Geelong. And it will be a free kick. So it will be a set-piece free kick. So Geelong with a good chance to score. So Geelong in the right spot here to go for goal. Just trying to see who it might be to take this Set piece free kick. Masuda hits it in! Tara Yoshimura. Pinpoint perfect. And Yoshimura strikes for Geelong. And that was a sublime strike from Yoshimura. Geelong 2, Brimbank 0. And Geelong now doubled the lead and are sitting pretty. About 49 minutes into this game. So Yoshimura gets on the score sheet this evening here for Geelong and strikes that beautifully. It's a long way back now here for Brimbank. Long ball here for Kim Harris. A foul's been called. It's going to go away Geelong, and Kim Harris not happy with the decision. And it will be a Geelong free kick. So Spiteri, a bit too much power on that one from the captain, Jai Spiteri. It will be a Brimbank ball. Sturridge. Rosario through midfield here for Flint. He keeps possession. He lost possession. And Grimstitch mops up here for Geelong and away. Go to side in yellow. Here's Yoshimura. He's on a bit of a streak here. He might be able to get it to Benchich, who's in a bit of space here. Can Connor Benchich strike again? He tries so hard on the right. And a bit too much there, and he couldn't get a brace. So Connor Benchich misses that one. There's none of your for Brimbank. Just lost the ball into the front third here for Brimbank, but it's nothing but Geelong mopping up here in the end. Spiteri. To Budlin. I think Geelong are happy to park the bus here for the short time, but pressure might be put on the defence here. Spiteri knows it. He's in a foot race here alongside Adachi. And that ball's turned over, so chance here for Yamamoto. Yamamoto going to hand it back to Adachi. Goes back, finds Marv. Ball's not bad here for Alex Chavo, but maybe a bit too much there for the former Heidelberg player. And Brimbank about to make a substitution here. So Ben Aluthi will come on. Former under-21 play for the Preston Lions, Ben Alufi. And Ethan Flint's coming off for Brimbank. Ethan Flint, who, speaking of Preston Lions, has played for the Preston Lions, played there a few seasons ago. He's also played for Hume City, who, again, is struggling at the moment in the top tier football at the moment here in Victoria. We'll get back to that shortly. Here's Yoshimura for Geelong. To Mitsuda. Back to Yoshimura. So Yoshimura again. Turns that ball over. Tried to find Connor Bencic. Brimbank probably had nothing better than just to get that out of dodge. He goes out for touch. And we'll go back to Geelong, so we get a throw in. And Geelong with a comfortable 2-0 lead here against Brimbank at City Vista Pavilion. To see Geelong potentially trying to go forwards. Yoshimura is offside there, unfortunately, so no dice in the end. Just try and catch who's number 18 for Geelong. Might have been a substitution. Speaking of which, that was for Trukowski there. And was a bit too much in the end. It's Brimbank. Get out of dodge. They do a fantastic job through Harris, who couldn't get on the back end of that one. And again, just rushing that ball, and it goes out for touch. So it'll be a Geelong ball, and Geelong will regain possession. Spiteri at centre back here for Geelong. It's going to stay with Geelong. No, it's going to be Brimbank. So William Quartermain's just calling this Yamamoto to Rosario. Schiavo gets the ball back. Bit too much oomph on there from Alex Schiavo again. And the ball goes out, so it'll be a goal kick here for Geelong. Quick touch there from Nicholas Scott-Nicker for Geelong. Finds Budalin, and Geelong again go away with it here through Trukowski. Trzaskowski. He's had a few seasons at Geelong. And they're away here. Play on. So it could be here in the bread basket for Geelong. It's not. Blocked off in the end there by Marv. Schiavo to Sturridge. And Sturridge puts that ball into touch, and you can hear the Bronx cheers from the crowd here at City Vista Pavilion. So at the moment, Michael Clancy, who mentioned earlier in our call tonight that he was expecting Geelong to win this one 2-0. He's at the moment almost right in his prediction. As I was trying to see what the time was, but the scoreboard unfortunately is frozen. Point for good measure too as play goes down. And it was Jesse Davis who goes down. And the crowd are going nuts in the grandstand opposite where we are tonight. So Geelong playing again out the back. So we're about to see another substitution made for Geelong shortly. Ball goes out into touch. No substitution is about to be made here. So Jesse Devers is going to come off and Keegan Kukanowski is going to come on for Geelong shortly. Geelong just setting themselves up. Ball goes long. Ball in the hands of Devers. Devers couldn't get through Stoich. And it's with Nana Yor for Brimbank. Nana Yor goes out the touch and it's going to be a throw in for Geelong. So Geelong 2 and Brimbank 0. So Connor Benchich and Tara Yashimura, the goal scorers for Geelong this evening. Here was Stojanovski. Pass through was no good in the end. Stopped there beautifully there by Michael Rosario. Yamamoto. Going to head back to Marf. Marf. Midas touch to Stodic. And it's with Budalin. Spiteri. And they're just going to play with the ball here. Grimsditch, who's been fantastic. He's been here, there, and everywhere over the course of the evening. Spiteri. Ball here for Devers, might be. Devers might get on the back end of that one. Up to not to. It's going to go the way of Brimbank. Official got it, having his hands full with two very lively benches right below us in Brimbank and Geelong. Here's Marf. Nana Yor goes down. Free kick stays. And ball stays with Brimbank. At Archie. That ball's been turned over. The back heel from Devers. He thought he could find Benchich, and Benchich was nowhere to be found. So, bit of minor miscommunication. So we'll finally see that substitution. So we're about to see a substitution. We're going to see a double substitution here. So. So Jay Tanich is going to come on as well for Geelong. So we're going to see Kukanowski and Tanich on for Geelong shortly. So Geelong making a double substitution here through their coach in Ted Latamansky. Spiteri. In through. Might be a chance here for Geelong to score. They can't. As Chris May's out of his box. Long ball, sent it back beautifully. Both two players go down through midfield. And again, it is Taro Yoshimura who's down. So double substitution. I think it's Oscar Brooks who's off here. Jay Tanich is on. Keegan Kukanowski is on. And Jesse Davis is off. So Geelong with a double sub. As Tyra Yoshimura again. Sees the ball. A dead ball at the moment, and Alex Chiaro's come off for Brimbank. Coming on was Maniel. We're about to see Aaron Smith also come on. Aaron Smith, who has returned to Brimbank after spending some time playing football over in the United Kingdom. And none of yours come up for. Long ball here for Brimbank. Oh, that is an incredible strike. That was a great free kick. Benalufi hits it beautifully on the head. And Brimbank make this a contest again here at George. Geelong lead 2-1. That was a sublime header from Benalufi. And they're away here, Yamamoto. Sodic. Maniu. To Adachi. Oh, almost in. Momentum now gone the way of Brimbank. And they lead this, and they trail now 2-1, but could be back on it. There could be a comeback on the cards here for this Northwest State League team. Brimbank stays in their possession. Long ball might be good here for Dutch. It's not. He's got 3 to deal with. Geelong need to get out of dodge. Yamamoto's doing really well here for Brimbank. As again, bit of panic stations here for Geelong. Well done there by Rosario. Good hustle. Yamamoto got it. Chance here now. Last touch was not good in the end there for Maniel. And Brimbank with 10 men. As Thomas Shinama, who was sent off after that reckless tackle in that first half. And I think someone asked me the question about my thought on the red card for Thomas Shinama, and I thought it was probably the right decision. Studs up, you can't be doing that. So Brimbank wrestling with 10 men. And they're doing not a bad job at it either at the moment. Rosario got it to Yamamoto. And Geelong, again with that extra man, Trechkowski. Hands it off. Flight goes up. And it's none of your... No, it's not none of your, my apologies. Being booked there is Manuel. So Manuel gets booked for Brimbank. Only minutes after coming on. And it will be a free kick going the way of Geelong. So as I said, drop your comments in the comment section below if you're watching on Facebook, and I'll answer them over the course of the evening. Spiteri did well. Ball might be away here for Geelong. It's not. Only into the area for Rosario. Hands it back off to Chris May. Luffy, who scored a sublime header goal for Brimbank to bring it back to 2-1. Long ball here. Might be a bit too much in the end for Maniu, and it is. So Brimbank going to try and find, or hopefully find, a second goal and equalise. And then it is game on here at Georgie's. Boudlin did well. Cross in transition. It's gone out for touch. It's a storage here for Brimbank. Here for Smith. He'll hand it off to Chris May. Smith goes again. Rosario. Yamamoto. Adachi. Maniu back to Adachi. Again, he got dispossessed by the captain, Josh Vatarian. Geelong away. But Brimbank are pressing. They're pressing hard. It's a good fight from the Stallions. Again, down to 10 men after a first half red card going the way of Noah Thomas Chinama. Rosario. Marf. Back with Smith. Smith loses the ball, but it's a free kick to Brimbank. It's a yellow card going the way of Kukanowski. A lot of feeling in this game now. Rosario couldn't get into space. They might be on the chance here now. Trakowski inwards. It's brilliant. It was. Keegan Kukanowski had a great chance to again make it 3-1. But the long ball might be good here for Brimbank. It's not. And Smith tried really hard to gain the meters, try and get that ball. He couldn't do so in the end. So it goes from one side and just end-to-end stuff midway through the second half. So Rosario passes. Yamamoto on this left-hand channel here for Brimbank. And ball goes with Geelong. Bit too much there for none of y'all to maybe get, but got there in the end. Did well, did none of y'all. Stays with Geelong. Crosses into the box. Chance here for Geelong through Benchich. And Benchich couldn't get the brace in the end. It was a great cross into the box though for Connor Benchich. Just wasn't enough in the end. And Brimbank get out of dodge. As Maniu comes offside. And Boudlin. Spiteri. Back to Adam Boudlin. Masuda. Spiteri to Jay Tanich. Tanich, good pass. Midas touch. Finds Stojanovski. Yoshimura. It's going to stay with Brimbank. None of your. On that wing there for Smith. A bit too much on that pass from Nunayaw to Aaron Smith. And Geelong stay back in defence. It'll be Jet Tanich again too. Benchich, again, who's been phenomenal this evening. Started the training for Geelong. Tanich will get the ball back. Does so. Grimstitch, he loses possession. Adachi did well. He gave it off to Yoshimura. And the ball there from Masuda. Found Trzaskowski. And Trzaskowski's potentially now put Geelong into the next round of the Australia Cup. Geelong 3, Brimbank 1. Massive thank you as well, by the way, to Brenton Ray for giving me a bit of an around-the-ground score update. Thank you, Brenton. Saves me from going from one game to the other. So Melbourne Knights currently 2-0 up against Bentley. Geelong, as we know, are now 3-1 up against Brimbank. St Albans 1-0 up against their rivals in North Geelong. Oakleaf doubled their lead. They're now 2-0 up against Dandenong City. Clifton Hill with a 3-0 advantage over South Springvale. And Yarraville Glory are 1-0 up against North Sunshine. And keep in mind, too, for North Sunshine, they are an NPL 3 club like Geelong. So Yarraville potentially might organise a cup set this evening. Geelong go deep in again. They might get another look at it. They don't this time around. That ball goes out and Trzaskowski almost went for a brace. But they're smelling blood in the water now, Geelong. Momentum's gone their way. Yoshimura. Budalin. We're about to see another substitution made shortly. And Oscar Brooks is coming on. Well, maybe not. As we're going to see Jordan Galea about to make his way on for the first time this evening here for Brimbank. So Jordan Galea will come on shortly. As Brimbank are going to make a raft of substitutions. And Gabriel Valise is about to come on too for Chris May. As May lobs that ball long. Brimbank adjust. Trying hard here, but it might be here for Adachi. Couldn't get on the back end of that one. Budalin did really well there. Did the Swede. The Swede gets it out of there beautifully. Well done by Budalin. In the right spot at the right time, and Spiteri gets it out now for Geelong and passes off to Yoshimura. Could be a chance here for Jay Tanich. Tanich. More ball goes in, play goes down. Not much in it. Geelong can just stay comfortable at this moment. They've got a comfy 3-1 advantage over Brimbank. Long ball here for Geelong. Into the box. It's no good in the end. Chris May gets it up. Good header there from Yoshimura. Now to Jed Tanich. And he's back with Yoshimura here for Geelong. So Geelong is just going to take their time. Stojanovski. Again, been a stalwart here for Geelong. Led the golden boot for the Geelong part last season. Might be a bit too much here for Masahiro Masuda. Masuda did really well to keep it in. And Geelong might get another look at it. They might get another look at it again. They can't. But it stays with Geelong through Tanich. To Grimstitch. Stays with Jed Tanich. Back to Grimstitch. So, again, a 1-2 here from both. Plays for Geelong. Yoshimura. He's going to go long range. Yoshimura! Good hit on that one. And it'll be a corner for Geelong. As we're going to see a double substitution. So Chris May coming off for Gabrielle Valise for Brimbank. And Jordan Galea coming on. And coming off is David Stojic. So Stojic off. And a corner kick here for Geelong. And I believe it will be Stojanovski coming on. So Stojanovski will take the free kick, my apologies. Oscar Brooks on. And coming off for Geelong is Yoshimura, who has been phenomenal. So Stojanovski goes again. Long ball in for Geelong. It's going to stay with them. Spiteri did well. Benčić. Masuda. Too much there for Kukanowski. And ball goes out to touch again. So stay with Geelong. So they continue to lead this one by 3-1. Who is nearing the final sort of 5 or so minutes of this game. Thank you so much again for jumping in and watching this game tonight. The one of 6 games on over the course of the evening. Whether you've watched on the Football Victoria socials or NPL.tv powered by Clutch. Thanks again for watching. Yamamoto for Adachi. Adachi on that left-hand side. That was a clean tackle by Geelong and their defence. Tanich did really well. Just trying to block off Yamamoto. Ball staying with Brimbank. Smith lobs it in. Trying to go inside the 18-yard box to no avail. And Stojanovski did really well there. Grimstitch. Kukanowski. He's got to be careful. And he's handed that ball over now to Maniel. And that ball's gone way over the crossbar. Masuda. Loses possession. But it'll be a free kick going the way of Geelong. Referee Will Quartermain's wanted to see if there was an advantage going to happen, but no advantage for Geelong. For Jed Tanich. Short pass to Brooks. Grimstitch. Back to Tanich. Ricochets into the possession of Benchich. Benchich is going to pass that ball away, and Geelong will reset again. Again, we're a few minutes away from stoppage time, and Geelong have got a 3-1 advantage. So we head into red time. Jed Tanich kept it. Let's turn it over to Yamamoto. Maniel. Good pressure there from Keegan Kukanowski. Grimstitch. And Brimbank might get a proper look at it again. They won't. And then you can see the frustration now on Brimbank, knowing that the minutes continue to tick. And the time is now the essence for them. Tanich on the right-hand side tried to find Brooks. But it's going to stay with Geelong. It'll be Jed Tanich. He'll get that ball back. Rosario goes down. And it will be a free kick here going away to Marv. To Maniel. For Luffy. And it's a Geelong free kick. Free kick. Apologies. I heard some words that I'm probably not going to repeat here, but it's just very disgruntled Brimbank fans showing their full voices. Geelong with the free kick. There'll be another free kick here for Geelong. It'll be Keegan Kukanowski who goes down, but jeez. Oh, you got to love the fans sometimes and how animated they can get. Grimstitch, Kukanowski, Masuda. Masahiro Masuda, who's been good tonight. Stojanovski. They keep possession. To the sound of the Bronx cheers in the grandstand here at City Vista. Long ball from Spiteri, no good. And it will be a Brimbank ball. So we're about to tick down now to stoppage time, and by a miracle, it might be Geelong who are going to head to the next stage of the Australia Cup. They'll head to round 7. Unfortunately, no cup set here at City Vista. As I said earlier, I wouldn't be surprised if Geelong got the victory here tonight, but don't discount Brimbank to potentially organise another cup set. So 4 minutes of added time on the clock. As to see Jed Tanich. Headers that one. Yamamoto. Might get it back, he does. So Yamamoto on the left-hand side here for Brimbank. None of your did really well. Taps it back to Aaron Smith. Smith sold a bit of candy. Trying to go inwards. Couldn't do so. Geelong potentially going to try and find one more goal before the end of this game. Play goes down here for Geelong and Benčić. Connor Benčić gets fouled in. Almost a last-ditch effort here for Geelong to cap off what's been a great night for them. So Geelong will go through to the next phase of the Australia Cup campaign here. Grimstitch probably fell asleep at the wheel. Should have gone to him instead. Spiteri tugs on the shirt of Aaron Smith. Smith got cleanly dispossessed there by Jai Spiteri, and Marf. Long ball here for Maniu, and Geelong going to try and get out of dodge. They do. None of y'all did really well with the header. Long kick here from Grimstitch is good. Benčić couldn't keep it in play, unfortunately. Rosario. Brimbank, can they get a consolation goal at least? I think that's what they want to try and get. Yamamoto. Maniu. It's going to stay with Brimbank. Aaron Smith. He's going to go long here. He does. Long ball's not bad. Chance here for Maniu to get a goal. He misses. And it will be a goal kick for Geelong. So we're only minutes away from the conclusion of this game. And it will be Geelong to go through to the next stage. Brimbank were brave. And they've had a phenomenal cup campaign. And unfortunately, for the team in State League 1 Northwest, their campaign here at the Australia Cup comes to an end tonight. Outclassed by a more well-versed, well-experienced Geelong outfit, led by Jai Spiteri. And the whistle will go at any moment to symbolise the end of this game. Brooks. Might be a last chance here for Benčić. Couldn't get his brace, and he's tried everything tonight to get a brace. He's earned it so much. But the win goes to Geelong, and Geelong are through to the next round of the Australia Cup with a 3-1 win over Brimbank. It was solely entertaining over the course of the evening, but it was Brimbank who tried so hard and came so close. But again, just how masterful Geelong can be. And that's just a well-experienced team led by Ted Lanowski for Geelong. So congratulations to Geelong. Commiserations to Brimbank. A big win for Geelong on a Tuesday night. And as we wrap things up here from City Vista, Geelong are through now to round 7 of the Australia Cup. And are one step closer to representing Victoria in the round of 32, which will get underway in a very short while. So as we conclude here from City Vista, it was Geelong with the victory 3-1 over Brimbank. Thanks again to Nick, our cameraman. He did a fantastic job tonight. Huge thank you to everyone who commented tonight as well. Thank you for keeping me company over the course of the evening. It's a good night here from City Vista as we finish up here. Geelong are through to round 7. They win this one, 3-1 over Brimbank. It's a good night from City Vista.